Welcome subscribers to our little tower defense video. Now, I know there hasn't been a lot of updates and things recently, and it's because I've been going through a lot of gaming stuff and, growing the channel out to different kinds of things that you can expect. And also, I'm doing new changes as going from a full-time student to half-time so that I have more time to do this kind of stuff with you guys and maybe some more streams. Now, I have started doing regular streams on Friday. So if you guys would like to join, please, hop over to Twitch, follow, subscribe, do whatever you Twitch heroes do. Now, this video is going to be a small video on targeting, okay? Because in each iteration, you're going to find that you've got, a script that does a lot of heavy lifting, and sometimes it's not exactly ideal for what you want. Because a lot of times, you're doing one function, and then you have an API that, from, let's say, your money script. Interacts with money, but you have like 3 or 4 different things that call up change money and things like that, and sometimes it's better to change up some stuff because you want to decouple code and make it more customizable. But using inheritance, you got the flexibility, but who wants to inherit from a script all the time and things? And that's where interfaces come into play. Now, I have sketched over interfaces a lot of times because some people don't like them, some people do, and this is my little tutorial on this part. Now, as you can see, these guys are just shooting away and everything else, and that's fine. But let's look at some stuff here. Now, when it came to our turrets and everything, if I can find one in here, resources, and we have turrets. We have a bunch of different classes for health and stuff like that in the background, right? And it's not ideal to have a bunch of different classes for properties and stuff like that in here. A lot of times when people say there's a class there, you should probably use an interface, most likely. And, there's a debate that goes on for centuries about that stuff, but I'm going to give you a scenario where this is really actually quite easy to use an interface for. And that was for our build object. Now, our build object, if you look at the code for it, does a lot of stuff. Okay, there's saving here, save the file, get upgrade, get save. Now you see I got GetEnemy. Remember, we had a list for the physical loop, and this is how we get our enemies. So every single frame we call up on one of those build objects to get an enemy, so that physics isn't overloading our game, and it works really good. But this function probably shouldn't exist in build object. It has nothing to do with building an object, okay? Just like health, set health, and all this other stuff. It doesn't deal with the object itself. I put it here just as a temporary because of, we need to get stuff working. But now it's getting to the point where we've got all the functionality that we need for certain things, so we need to decouple this code and make it more flexible, in its own little way. Okay, this cost object thing, this shouldn't be in here. This is stupid to have in here. Building object, saving the object, loading the object, those functions right there should be the only thing that exists in here. Maybe something to instantiate, maybe a material, something about building the object. That makes sense to me. Loading the object, maybe, but we should never have probably any of this other stuff in here. And that's my sentiments about it. So, what we did in game behavior, as you know, we have this loop in here. Okay? So, every single frame, we use this index to loop. For you guys that don't know, we have function to add loop and this. So, before we had build object here. Build object. Okay? And all I did was change it over to a simple interface. And the reason being is simple. We can give it the interface and it does this. And to integrate an interface, all we have to do is go hi, then targets. Okay? That's it. And this, if I wanted to get object of type, like in every object of the game, it would return this script right here as well. But this isn't an iTarget thing, right? This is an interface. And the beauty about interfaces is you can have multiple things, okay? Where, as you know, in inheritance, we cannot inherit from two different scripts at the same time. We would have to extend, build another script, and you know, that's heresy to me. So, tower object inherits from build object, but it also integrates an iInterface. And iInterface is very, very simple. All it does, get target. This right here. So we replace our GetEnemy code right here. We basically delete it out of here. So this is no longer dependent on that. Okay? So if we deleted this class right here, build object, to get this working again, we would only have to make this mono behavior and then take these virtual functions out and things. And we really don't have any other code in here that requires the save. Okay, that would be relatively easy, right? And that's pretty much it. A lot of the stuff from build object doesn't require this. But we're going to inherit from build object because I want the saving functionality. Because I want to just call up get object of type and pull down every single build object and have it instantiate its, well, actually call up its saving functionality, which instantiates what it needs to and does all that stuff right here inside the class. That I'm fine with. That sounds like something build object should do. Okay? And we know this because I've shown you this in the logic. So this targeting thing, this is wonderful for doing one specific thing. In an interface, we cannot put functionality in here, right here. Interfaces are specifically designed to integrate code, function calls. We want calls. We cannot put a debug.log in here or anything. We can't do nothing like this. It has to look exactly like a function call. It wants basically this, okay? We can put overloads in here, like other, like game object. Oh, we have to put using Unity engine to get game object, right? Because that's part of the Unity engine stuff. Game object, go, and we can have overloads. You know, that's fine. You know, stuff that it requires for the function call. But we don't need anything from GetEnemy. All we need is this right here. We can delete this now because we don't need that. We may later on. But this deals with getting targets. One specific thing. And that's how we like our code. Well, I do anyway. It makes it very easy to look for stuff. Okay? And that's all it does. So we replaced that functionality that used to be in here with the interface. And it's very easy because a lot of the stuff we do not have to change. Where's our start? Our start is still the same. Our update is still the same. And our destroy, still the same. And remember, because this is not really a thing, well, the thing about it is, because we integrated this interface, build object is also a type of iTargets. iTargets and build object are like one now. Okay, in this particular instance here, I'm talking about when it comes to tower standards. Okay, it doesn't mean that these two are coupled together, because the list with the physics loop, it only cares about iTarget. It doesn't care about anything else in the script whatsoever. It just bypasses the whole freaking thing. Okay? Because that's what we're using it for, is just get target. Okay? So update, state update. Okay, we do that. That's fine. Now in our loop here, in the physics loop, we just do if the count is greater than 0, we do this, and then we do the index. Hey, guess what? GetEnemy. Okay? And that's it. That's all that it does. And I was thinking about doing this in the very beginning, but I didn't know how my targeting stuff would pan out, you know. But now I do. So build object no longer has that function in it. It doesn't care about that junk. So we've got rid of that. And you know, a lot of it never changed in the class right here. So I took out the override that used to be here, because I no longer inherit from something. I use an interface. And that's how that works. So also, and I will tell you this because this happened as well, is in Agent, I also integrate iTarget. Okay? And iTarget, we still pass this, just like that. Easy peasy. And the GetEnemy, I just took the override out, because we're no longer overriding. We're basically writing the function in to the class right off the bat. Now later on, we're going to use a lot more interfaces, because we're going to target this particular interface, okay, and then we're going to write code into this class to do what we need it to do. Like our upgrade class, get upgrade, and all that stuff, it can all be in the one target. You know, anything that we need to do that deals with iTarget, we should do in the interface. Write the script thing in here, okay? Like, let's say we want to get void get allies, okay? And then we need a build object array of allies. This is functionality that I think should be in this class right here, because it's a type of the target. It's either ally or enemy. Makes sense, right? I mean, that's how I look at it. But you know, this isn't a thing yet, you know, but it can be. And you know, just like I said, you know, how we got all these health classes right here and stuff. This was me basically, where is it? Technology values, standard tech. This was me just using a class right off the bat to integrate code into this class first without writing a whole bunch of functionality in here, then trying to delete it elsewhere. Okay? Now I know I got function calls probably in here for health tag, but they're easy to spot. I don't want a bunch of dead functions in here. And like I said, here's our save thing. We got rid of this code, and we went to a function call in save object. Now, there is a change that I made to the saving code. That's going to be it's going to be very, very good for us because of, we need something different. Now, that's all I wanted to put in this video because I didn't want it to be super long. And it's not really a big change, so yeah. Well, this is a beginner video of how we're going to move code out of certain stuff and into interfaces and stuff because they're flexible and they work. And not only that, but I don't want to try to inherit from two different classes. That's just silly. Okay? I want to be able to use more targeted code moving forward because it's going to give us a lot more flexibility, and it's going to be a lot more organized because we don't have to open a bunch of scripts. Like in here, if I wanted to open up tower name, I would have to go in here, right click, and go into seek definition, open a window, and then, oh, this is a string. Well, I'm cool with this being a scriptable object. That's fine. But it's kind of stupid that, I did this so that I wasn't instantiate memory for each one. I was pulling a reference type, which is a lot less. A reference will be really cheap. This spawn system right here is a mono behavior. That's a reference. Okay. My cap here or whatnot will be a reference. We've got a lot of reference types. Bless me. But yeah, moving forward, like this health technology, anything that deals with health, we should put in an interface because we can tell, we can get a component and then target that function right there instead of my health, get health, and all this other stuff. It's jumbled in there. And this happens when you're trying to just get stuff working first. Later on, you refactor into something a lot cleaner because you know the direction that you want to go. And that's how coding works sometimes. Sometimes you just got to get stuff working and then go with it. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it's just the game, right? So, hit subscribe, and this is Wardon over and out. Please be patient. The videos are coming. So, thanks for watching, subscribers, and goodbye.